New details on Jeff Hardy's DUI arrest this past weekend, plus several stars are off Forbidden Door due to ties to a promotion in Mexico. All this and more in today's AEW news. Hey guys, welcome back to Wrestling News 365. Hope everyone is doing very well. As always, there are plenty of news stories to get into in the world of All Elite Wrestling, and unfortunately, it's the biggest story, or one of the biggest stories in professional wrestling in general, certainly when it comes to AEW, and that is Jeff Hardy's latest arrest. His issues, personal demons, substance abuse issues have once again raised their head, and I did speak about this in depth last night when the news was just breaking. It was just breaking, and I jumped on here and recorded a video, but I do feel the need to discuss the further details that have since come to light about this, because again, it's all just incredibly disappointing and sad. So bear with me here, because there are quite a few details to get into when it pertains to the latest details regarding Jeff Hardy's arrest. Now, new details have emerged in the latest arrest of AEW wrestler Jeff Hardy. Now, numerous reports have now come out about Jeff Hardy's condition during his arrest for DUI, as well as driving with a suspended license. Now, ESPN's Mark Raimondi cited the Florida Highway Patrol's arrest report, which described Hardy as, quote, in a stupor and confused, end quote, and after being pulled over for, quote, swerving and, quote, running off the roadway, end quote. Now, this is when it gets very disturbing, frankly. Raimondi continued that the report described Hardy as, quote, unsteady and smelled of alcohol, end quote. He also could not complete, quote, any portion of the field sobriety test. It's not a case of, he passed a couple of parts of it and didn't get to the end. He couldn't complete any part of it, any portion. Now, according to Raimondi, officers administered 2 breathalyzers, one reading 0.294 and the second reading 0.291, both staggeringly over the legal limit, which is 0.08. Again, let's go over those numbers again, because it is just absolutely staggering. We're talking about the legal limit in Florida, which I know it differs from state to state and country to country, but where Jeff Hardy was at the time of this incident, the legal limit is 0.08, and on his breathalyzers, it was 0.294, and the second was 0.291. That is nearly 4 times over the legal limit. It's really unbelievable. Now, Post Wrestling also found more details from Trooper Zach Steiner's arrest report. Hardy was traveling along 195 in a white Dodge Charger when Steiner pulled him over and, according to the police report, arrested Hardy, quote, without incident. The report also notes that 4 911 calls were placed about the Dodge Charger's reckless driving. Yes, four calls came into the police to say there is a car driving on the road that appears to be out of control. And again, it really is unbelievable, frankly. Now, the AEW star had spent the previous evening performing an acoustic set, as well as attending the Slam Down 7 convention in Orlando, Florida. Hardy was arrested around 12:30 a.m. the following morning. Now, again, I mentioned there were more details regarding this. Jeff Hardy is out of jail as we speak. Jeff Hardy was reportedly bonded out of jail in Volusia County, Florida on Monday evening at 7:07 p.m. Eastern Time, paying a bond of $3,500 via the assistance of a bail bondsman. In an update from PW Insider, Hardy was slated to appear in court on Tuesday at 1:30 p.m. Eastern Time, but that appearance is currently listed as, quote, cancelled. Now, no reason has been provided as to the reason for the cancellation, but we'll have to wait and see when it comes to more details around this, as I mentioned. And look, it's got ramifications as well, as I mentioned, when it comes to All Elite Wrestling, because of course Dynamite is tomorrow on TBS. Jeff Hardy was scheduled for a big match on the broadcast. Now, the wrestling world continues to react to this news, and this very sad news that Jeff Hardy has been arrested once again for DUI, his third in the past 10 years. And some are, of course, wondering about the immediate future of Hardy in AEW, in particular about Wednesday. It was announced last week that Hardy and his brother Matt would be taking on the Young Bucks and Jurassic Express in a three-way ladder match, with Jurassic Express's AEW World Tag Team Championships being on the line. Now, will this match still happen? Is Jeff Hardy still going to be on the show? In my opinion, he shouldn't be, and it looks like that's going to be the case because a recent tweet by AEW suggests the answer is no. At 4:38 Eastern Time yesterday afternoon, AEW released a tweet promoting this Wednesday's AEW Dynamite episode, including matches such as Ethan Page versus Miro in that All-Atlantic Championship qualifying tournament, Wardlow versus the 20 security guards, Ortiz versus Chris Jericho in a hair versus hair match. The three-way ladder match, however, was no longer being promoted, despite having been promoted just 2 hours earlier prior to news being released about Jeff Hardy's arrest. Now, while it hasn't been officially confirmed, AEW's lack of promotion for the match is the first indication that the ladder match will be cancelled this week, or at the very least, reworked. Now, as of this recording right now, AEW or the AEW owner nor CEO Tony Khan has commented on Jeff Hardy's arrest. It's, of course, been a rough couple of weeks for Jeff Hardy. Of course, Jeff was knocked out in the Hardys match against the Young Bucks at Double or Nothing, and it goes from worse when it comes to that. Not only is the match no longer being listed or promoted, but reportedly Jeff Hardy has been pulled from pretty much all WarnerMedia advertising as well. In an update, Dave Meltzer from the Wrestling Observer, while AEW has not said anything publicly, they have asked WarnerMedia to, quote, stop all promotion of Jeff Hardy in any commercials or anywhere else immediately, end quote. Now, again, I think that's the right move. As I spoke about yesterday, and I don't really, my opinion hasn't changed at all. If anything, it's become more steadfast in the last 24 hours. After hearing some of those details about Jeff Hardy being nearly four times over the legal limit, for him not being able to complete any facets of the field sobriety test, to have 4 911 calls. I don't know if they're from separate people or the same people, but it would imply that 4 calls is from 4 separate people, ringing the police going, there is a car on the road that is out of control, it's swerving around all over the place, somebody has to do something. How long does it take before someone really gets hurt? And I don't even want to go into what could have really happened there. But every single time you step into a car, an automobile, whatever it may be, and you are over the limit, you are not only risking your life, forget about your own life as well, you're risking others who can be innocent. They're not over the limit, they're not under the influence of whatever, they're just in their car or on their motorbike or wherever, or they might just be walking down a path, a sidewalk, and they can be hurt or injured or possibly even worse. It's wrong. It's dangerous. And where do we draw the line? I love Jeff Hardy. I'm a huge Hardy Boys fan. I've been a Jeff Hardy fan since I was a kid. I love the Hardy Boys tag team. I love Jeff Hardy singles stuff. But eventually, we have to say, when is this guy going to be held accountable? Jeff Hardy has had far more opportunities than most people will be afforded in their entire career. And he has done some stuff during his career. I mentioned yesterday the TNA Victory Road incident. That would be a career ender for a lot of people. But because it's Jeff Hardy, because he has this connection with the audience, because he can make money for the company, he can make money for the promoter, he can sell merchandise, he gets opportunity after opportunity after opportunity. And when is enough enough? When is he going to be held accountable for all of this? And again, I don't mean it to come across as you're kicking someone when they're down and they need support in this period of time. I agree. He needs support in this period of time. He also needs to clearly get help for himself, because eventually it's going to resolve itself into a situation that doesn't even bear thinking about. It really doesn't. Do we need to bring up the incident with Sonny recently? Because this is where this is going. If it's a pattern of behavior, as I mentioned, it's 3 DUIs in the past decade. We know his history when it comes to substance abuse and alcohol as well. And it's incredibly sad. And Lord knows, I just hope and I pray he gets the help that clearly he needs before it's too late. And it's incredibly disappointing because we had hoped that those issues were in his past. And the incident when it pertained to his WWE release, at the time WWE had their suspicions, but Jeff Hardy passed all tests. And maybe he played on his, well, he did. He mentioned it in interviews. He played on his past and he played on his history. And, he passed the test and WWE released him. AEW took a risk by signing him. They knew the situation when it came to Jeff Hardy. They knew the situation, especially when it came to his release, but they were assured he's straight, he's clean, it was a misunderstanding, it's fine. And clearly it's not. Clearly it's not. Nearly four times over the limit. Clearly it's not fine. And I wouldn't blame AEW at all for completely cutting ties. He should have been on a short leash anyway. As always, I feel bad for the other people affected in this situation as well. I feel sorry for Matt Hardy. Matt Hardy had his issues as well, but he's completely on the straight and narrow. And, it's a shame. It really is a shame. And it's frustration, anger, disappointment all rolled into one. And as I mentioned, hopefully, thankfully in this instance, nobody was hurt. But who knows what will happen next time. And there shouldn't be a next time. That's my point. And I think he has a lot of people to prove and apologize to at this point. And I don't know, honestly, how I would feel about AEW taking another chance on him. I really don't. Because I think it sets a precedent. And as I mentioned, it's incredibly sad. Now, when it pertains to the ladder match, the ladder match should still go on. Fans have been promoted it. Is Matt Hardy going to be in it? I don't know. Is it just going to be Jurassic Express versus the Young Bucks? Maybe another tag team goes in there. Put FTR in there. Or give Matt Hardy a new tag team partner or something. Because it's just a crying shame. It really is a crying shame. Now, obviously, if we have more details regarding Jeff Hardy's status or AEW's comments on the matter or Jeff Hardy's comments on the matter, we'll talk about it here on the channel. Briefly, I do want to talk about Forbidden Door before we wrap things up when it comes to the AEW news today. Now, multiple top AEW stars are reportedly off the Forbidden Door pay-per-view later this month. Now, in the early hours of Monday morning, AEW star Andrade El Idolo got fans speculating that he would not be appearing at the Forbidden Door pay-per-view. Now, while blaming Lucha promotions based in Mexico, such as AAA or CMLL, this would lead to a response from AAA booker Conan, a deleted tweet from Andrade implying AAA hadn't paid him, and no clarification on his Forbidden Door status, well, at least until the afternoon. Now, according to sources close to Lucha Blog, which is the premier blog for all Lucha Libre news in the United States, Andrade El Idolo will not be appearing at Forbidden Door later this month, despite initially being booked for the show. Now, he is not alone in this matter, because Lucha Blog is also reporting and has confirmed that the Lucha brothers, Penta Oscuro and Rey Fénix, will also not be appearing on Forbidden Door. Now, though it was not outright stated in Lucha Blog's report, CMLL's working relationship with New Japan appears to be responsible for the reason all three stars are being left off the events. As previously noted, Andrade, Penta, and Fénix are all associated with AAA, the rival promotion of CMLL in Mexico, although Andrade's status with AAA now appears to be up in the air given his deleted tweet about not being paid. Now, this would indicate that despite the growth in AEW and New Japan's relationship, the CMLL New Japan Pro Wrestling relationship, which dates back to 2008, remains as strong as ever. It would also suggest that the rivalry between AAA and CMLL, which dates back to AAA's formation, I think in the early 90s, 1992, something like that, remains as hostile as ever. Now, while Andrade was reportedly booked for Forbidden Door and Penta Oscuro is scheduled to face Malachi Black for the chance to join the Fatal 4-Way match for the AEW All-Atlantic Championship, it appears that AEW may have known that Fénix would be unavailable for some time. The AAA AEW star is scheduled for AAA's next Show Center event on June 26, which is the same day as Forbidden Door. It's now likely he won't, he's going to make the AAA show over the AEW show. Now, though it's unknown if they too will be affected at this time, it appears unlikely that FTR, who of course are the current AAA World Tag Team Champions, will be removed from the Forbidden Door should they be booked. I mean, yes, they hold the championships, but I don't know if they have a contract, but I don't know if the Lucha Brothers or Andrade do as well. It just seems very, very strange and odd. Now, of course, FTR has been feuding with Will Ospreay's United Empire on AEW TV, and it's rumored that they're going to be wrestling United Empire's Jeff Cobb and Great Khan, who attacked FTR on Dynamite last month. So there's a lot of moving parts here. It's just, I guess that's what happens. Once you start doing co-promoted shows, once you start doing shows with other promotions that have working relationship with others but have rivalries with others, you tend to get in this murky water. Ultimately, it sucks for Andrade and the Lucha Brothers because this is going to be a big event. This is going to be a historic event, and they're going to miss off because of, frankly, political BS between promotions, and that sucks. That's really unfortunate. We'll have to wait and see, but it gives you an indicator as to who's going to win the match between Malachi Black and Penta Oscuro. It ain't going to be Penta Oscuro. Malachi Black's going into that finals. And to be fair, Malachi Black winning that title I wouldn't be against, but I really want Miro to win it as well because he's such a great champion whenever he holds a title. So we'll have to wait and see when it comes to that one too. But anyway, guys, be sure to smash a like on the like button. Be sure to subscribe, bottom right-hand corner, and I'll speak to you again very, very soon. Hey guys, thank you for watching, listening, streaming, or however you come across this video today. Be sure to click on the video on the right there to watch our next video, or click the bottom there to subscribe, or the bottom right hand corner. Thank you very much, and I'll speak to you again very soon.